So I want to share how our business systems analyst and SOP designer, Magnus, is able to indicate how to create an SOP to work with your CRM system to ensure that no sales opportunities are overlooked. Okay, so here's the question. What would the most effective SOP design be for integrating our CRM system? And I just chose DealerSocket with our sales process to ensure no opportunities are missed. Again, one of the things that our system does do is it works with you. It's a real collaboration. So it's asking some key questions. So I need to understand more about your current setup and goals, lists a bunch of key things like what's your target response time for new leads, how many sales team members will be using the system, etc. But then one of the other things that our system does is it creates moments of impact best practices. So key questions that are really challenging systems, like what specific consumer data points most valuable for your sales team to capture? How do you currently handle the transition between team members when managing a customer relationship, etc.? So this is really, really powerful because it helps ensure that you have really, really strong answers and you're getting exactly what you need specific for your dealership. Now, I've just indicated that this is a demo, so make assumptions. So it starts right out of the gate by creating lead capture and initial response from a DealerSocket CRM integration, SOP, lead management protocols in terms of initial contact, response requirements, documentation standards, starts to then create a matrix in terms of tracking. So new leads, contacted, appointments set, test drive, negotiations sold in terms of the stages, what are the required actions, and what's the approximate timeline. Then it gets into automation rules. So what are follow-up sequences? What are task generations? Performance monitoring in terms of what are the key areas that we're going to be ensuring from a KPI standpoint, as well as quality control. Now, as always, our system does ask, where would you like to have some additional, whether it's a deep dive, if you want to have an automation focus, if you want to focus on metrics review, or anything else? You can ask the system to blow out whatever it is that you want based on what your needs are. What I've asked it to do is just let's take a look at the automation focus. So I've asked to focus on two. So again, it takes a look at automated sequence and task generation blueprints, creates a graph here that is going to start to get set up with the automated follow-up sequences. So what is priority? What are your active prospect nurturing for 30 days? What's your post appointment sequence? What are your lost opportunity recovery, including we miss you messages, etc. And then it gets into a smart task generated in terms of rules. So what's the trigger event? What's the task type? Who's on the assignment? And what is that deadline? And then again, it gets into all sorts of additional details following up through task management rules. What's escalation protocol, load balancing, what are performance automations, etc. In this instance now, in terms of some next steps, I've asked it to focus on integration features. So what are specific DealerSocket integration points for these automations? So now we take a look at the core API integration framework. We take a look at primary integration touchpoints, so real-time lead capture via forms, live chat transcript integrations, inventory widget synchronization, custom quote builder connection, VDP activity tracking, etc. Getting into DMS integration. So now this starts to take a look at things like integrating into Reynolds or CDK. So what's the customer record synchronization, deal status, real-time updates, etc. You'll notice I have not indicated anything about the DMS because the system's understanding and it's focused on dealerships. These things are just getting pulled through based on the training of the agent. So then you get into lead source mapping. You get into customer record integration, starting to get into advanced integration features. So this is really where the system demonstrates its true power. Integration automation rules. So bi-directional update triggers, field level conflict resolution, error handling protocols, security and compliance. So very, very brief, but you can just see the power that we have when it comes down to these systems.